So, shall we get started?
Maybe.
Do you remember what we talked about last time? The end of chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5.
Well, that's a lot.
It was.
Would anyone else like to take the recap this time? I may remember that.
Okay, so the later part of chapter 2 was they were eating, and AleGord was complaining about the food. And we went on a small tangent about the sword Ludwig, which is a magical elvish sword, but also the author notes specify that it was not a magical elven sword. They continue on after their 4-course meal and go outside where Henry gives William his instructions to take 3 people into the demon lands. And AleGord followed them because he was waiting for his instructions as well. However, Henry belittled him, saying he's not AleGord's mother and that he shouldn't tell him what to do. So AleGord just kind of left. And chapter 2 ended with William and the 3 men climbing onto their horses and departing through a drawbridge, which is not the same entrance that AleGord entered the night before.
Maybe that was for the wall. I don't know. I don't know how close it is.
Well, we were talking about this yesterday. They are nowhere near a river. So does that mean that they, set up a moat without water? Or did they, bring water in for that? Because if this is an exit towards the direction of the wall, then wouldn't it be more like a tunnel? You wouldn't need a drawbridge. It'd sort of be like Castle Black, where it would be an actual tunnel that was built into the wall that you could use to travel along.
I'm wondering because it seems like he might be, or it might be where the castle's as tall as the wall and there's a drawbridge leading over to the top of it. But I don't think that would work very well. I don't know.
Well, how would you make a drawbridge from the castle to the top of the wall?
Well, if it was just like,
Also, why would you want to ride your horses along the top of the
wall? Another good point. So it's probably not it, unless they get to the other side of the wall and then take a lift down or something with their horses. I don't know. It's too vague to really say, but it could just be a moat around the castle. That could also make much more sense.
Okay.
I just have a subtle feeling it's connected to the wall somehow, but maybe not.
Then we moved on to chapter 3, Rumors and More, where we gained the focus of Galahad.
Oh no, not that chapter.
Do you remember that chapter?
Oh, the flying boy.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and summarize that chapter. You are the newbie. You need to inform us of what you recall.
Okay, that might be a little vague towards the end because I had to sort of do other stuff at the time. But Galahad has 2 sons and those 2 interchangeable servant guys who they just appear out of nowhere. I don't really remember the names specifically, but I'm sure I could find them easy. All with a group of knights go to the port, the whalebone port, whatever kind of port it was. I'm not sure.
It was Whale Harbor.
Whale Harbor. I keep adding a bone in there. Alright, Whale Harbor, where they were to meet Galahad's brother because there was a knight that showed up wounded, which hasn't happened before. So he had to go personally inspect it before the whole kingdom found out. So he went there with his sons, traveled there in a day, maybe 2 days. I think it was pretty straight on riding. They only stopped for bare minimum times at the ends. So when they got there, they were at the harbor. The ships were taller than any ships because they couldn't even be called ships. They were so big. And there was a little boy climbing on it, climbing to the top of it. And then his mother called him, and he jumped from the top of the ship down to the ground like a boss, like a demon.
Basically, like a demon. There was zero injury. He leapt from the top all the way down to the ground.
Either that, or there was just no indication of a transition. So that's what we have to assume. And it turns out that they went into Henry House, which was the house he remembers that was his brother's house. And lo and behold, they went inside, and then he realized it was his brother's wife.
I love that he
And
just
child.
went in without even fully recognizing it yet. He just barges in unannounced.
Followed a random woman and child into the house. And then realizes that was his brother's wife and child. And story time. Oh, the precious story time. Don't forget that. That's what was going on. Serious story time. So
The quintessential story time.
the only thing of importance in that harbor, story time, where they talked about the elves and the very confusing.
Well, no, you're missing something before that.
Oof. Oh, he recognized his brother finally.
No, that was after story time.
Okay.
So before Galahad turns and focuses to the prestigious story time, he asks what's going on in Whale Harbor, and his brother's wife asks him about the purpose of ships.
Oh God, they transport spices, of course.
That is their sole purpose. Their only purpose of existence is to transport spice.
Which is most likely a drug. Like, I don't really remember what happened with the children either, but one is the Nice Mountain, and they just fight constantly. But it might not have happened yet. But they start bickering sometime around here after the story time.
A little bit, yes.
But I do not remember very many details about the bickering or about what his brother told him, other than something about the elves and the demons.
So Askeladd was mocking his father for at first not caring about, and then later on also caring about the relevance of the story about demons
and
wraiths.
It definitely changes. Where everybody believes it, but some people don't believe it, even though it's common knowledge that there are demons.
Yes.
And the purple light.
Oh.
And the purple light. That is luring ships away to never return and or be destroyed.
Yeah, I blanked out on all of that. I remember a purple light. I do not remember luring ships or why or what happened. It doesn't go into it very much.
So there is a purple light that is constantly appearing out on the horizon, and it is luring ships carrying the spice away to be destroyed. And so they are continuing to send and build ships to go out there, but none have made it to like their destination or come through. But they're just they're still building. They're still sending.
There's some big ships too. They waste a lot of wood sending those ships out there.
And after they're done talking about the demons and that,
I kind of just remember they all head back, but after with a ton of bickering on the way, Askeladd.
Well,
Oh
you're
no, I'm
moving on.
forgetting tons of
You are moving
it.
on
You
to
can go
another
ahead.
chapter
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. What?
where after
You
they're
get to
done discussing the
continue with that.
demons, they, or rather, Galahad asks about the wounded soldier who
Galahad.
apparently arrived at Henry's house. Do you
Yeah,
not remember this?
that's the man who was dead in the backyard.
Yes.
Wrapped,
So he died
wrapped
a
up.
couple days ago, and then they just wrapped him in cloths and kept him
Oh,
outside in the backyard.
a quick mummification. Easy.
Then we went on to chapter 4, which is On the Road. The focus was Korg.
I think Korg and Askeladd are having a conversation right now. Yep, there it is.
Yep.
Which is just so
We we discovered that Korg wished that he was sent to Castle Clifton to just go around killing demons. This is where we also discover that they left to Whale Harbor the exact same day that they sent AleGord over to Castle Clifton.
it's all happening pretty quickly.
They Askeladd and Korg bickered back and forth about why their land is both valuable and not valuable. And in addition to that, we got the sudden appearance of Winbert.
Wimbert. Wimberton. So, well, so that's the other one of his guards.
Yes.
Oh,
We also have the greatest poem ever written
very sexual in nature.
in regards to the young flowers.
Now, I will say that could mean
I don't think so.
could mean just like 16 plus maybe. Maybe. It's medieval times, so most likely 13 plus, but you know. I don't know. I don't know the rules of this world yet. It hasn't been established.
But they continued on and they returned to their home where.
Don't you prompt
Come
me?
on now.
I have no clue. They well, I know old Galahad was going to see the king and leaving behind his sons, I believe. I think that's what was coming up next.
Yes. So Galahad
Oh
returned
yeah,
home with his children and pretty much told them to stay home while he was going to go over towards the capital to speak with the king.
Askeladd was mad that he didn't have 100 knights guarding him.
Yes, because whenever the king is around, there's a dozen or two protecting him, but his father is a noble, so he should have at least 100 knights protecting him.
Kind of like he's trying to put him as like a Tywin Lannister or Ned Stark or a combination. Tywin was kind of more important than the king, ruling the realm while the king couldn't do anything in Game of Thrones. But Ned was
Well,
his advisor, which is kind of the best friend of the king. So I could see if he was setting him up as that kind of character, he could be. His son might think he's more important than the king. Yeah.
well, the thing was in Game of Thrones, pretty much for the entire series, all of the kings were the young children. They pretty much stayed within the keep or went to public locations where he already had the Kingsguard there. So he was pretty
Yeah, I
much
guess
always
so.
safe. None of them really traveled outside of the capital.
No,
Joffrey, I don't think ever left the capital.
I think Ned
And
had a good following when he went south, but that's because he's like the like the main noble of the North.
Well, yeah,
But
but
then
he was also
again,
traveling with Robert Baratheon when he
yeah, Robert
was.
had just as big, if not bigger, a following when he came. But
Well, that's the thing is he was traveling with Robert, so
yeah,
obviously,
but,
like the total number of guards there would be fucking impressive.
oh yeah. But either way, his son is very very proud. That's all. He's an ass.
Fucking idiot.
I will point out the author, who will remain nameless, does not seem to understand that there are other types of soldiers besides knights that are guarding a castle.
Oh no, this the whole armor thing too. Like,
We'll get to the armor.
I'm guessing, like I said, regular armor is regular, and actual armor is just full plate mail. maybe
Well, I mean,
that's what he's
if that's the
referring
case,
to.
then you would argue like metal armor or even thicker armor to use in terms of dialogue. You wouldn't just say armor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. It's definitely the case of the Vagies.
What isn't vague is Chapter 5 Into the Demon Lands, which
Not the
focused on the
demon
William.
lands, where there are these mysterious creatures that kill people, but nobody knows what they are.
Oh no. So what happened in Chapter 5?
William never liked the demon lands, the dry, barren, rocky wasteland.
Don't you repeat the entire thing.
I'm just kidding. Well, him and his band of brothers, the 3 new recruits, I think it was.
They weren't new recruits, but they were like soldiers of the castle.
Okay, well, I think they at least hadn't been on many expeditions.
Their entire point is to die, basically.
Everybody dies on expeditions, so they couldn't have been on one before. So yeah, they traveled on their horses into the lands and started finding all sorts of animal bones standing up. They all stood on their horses and rode, by the way, which is very impressive. Their balance is masterful. Must be a class talk. But they found a bunch of animal bones doing all kinds of different positions, and then found some living flesh and blood, some dead flesh and blood. I mean, but still not dried, fresh kills.
Yeah, still wet blood on the sand in the desert.
Yes, pools of blood in the sandy sand. And then found more bodies and stuff. But there was also a big hole with large scales around it, of which couldn't be anything they know of because there's no large reptiles that anybody knows of. And then they go and they notice among a huge pile of bones a large reptile that could it be a dragon that everybody knows of? Apparently not, or maybe. What is that? Oh. And then they got into this creature that could talk. They talked with it. It attacked. Their horse went running off. People were standing on their horses still.
I will note that we also learned that it would take less time for them to travel on foot than it would be by horse.
Yes, obviously, standing on horses means they gotta walk. The horses gotta walk real slow, or they'll fall off. Horseback is not the best way to travel in this world because everybody's standing while the horses do a slow trot so it doesn't toss them. How much of that are we going to keep canon? Because it isn't practical at this point.
It is practical in this world, so we keep it going.
All right. Then that gluttony ate them up, and William escaped.
Well, we don't know. We don't know that it's gluttony yet.
Well,
We know that his
yeah, I
name is
guess
Gulmon Feast.
its name is Feast.
It's Glutoni.
Glutoni comes later.
Glute. I could see that. I could see that. It's endlessly hungry, can never get enough, needs more constantly, almost as similar to a sin of sorts. And the last guy with him just decides to go and fight it because he just can't handle not fighting it. He's got to go fight it. Even after everybody died in like 1 second, he's going to go fucking destroy this thing. And he gets eaten right up. And William escapes.
Yes, because after all of that, John was pissed off because running away with their lives would be cowardly. And so he was determined to fight it single-handedly and behead it and bring it back to Castle Clifton.
We're gonna
Where
find.
does he get the confidence?
We're gonna find out what AleGord thinks of cowards.
But John died, and William kept running on foot, which is fast. So now we are at Chapter 6, A Week at Clifton's Fortress.
Oh, a whole week? Oh, no. The week's over right at the beginning of the chapter. Okay.
Yes, but also not.
Ooh.
Are we ready?
Good to go.
Yes. Yes.
AleGord had settled at the castle for nearly a week's time, nearly a half-fortnight since he was casted away by his lord father. Now, immediately right here, I just want to go ahead and note, if you say for nearly a week's time, you don't have to immediately continue on with nearly a half-fortnight.
How much is a fortnight? I could have
It's 2
sworn
weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks.
It's literally just a repeat, just for the sake of using the word fortnight.
A redundancy.
Also, I feel like we've said this before, but if we haven't on here, he should not have to use the term Lord in front of Father.
No, not at all.
It should not matter, like whatsoever, since he was cast away by his father. Full stop.
Was he though?
He was directed by Galahad to go to Castle Clifton.
Okay, I can agree with that. All right, so he shouldn't need to give him his honorifics.
Although he dwells in a different sort of place, it felt all too familiar to home. Lord Henry resealable much of his lord father in the sense. He received
resemble.
Resealable.
Oh, he just sealed them back up.
Lord Henry resealable much of his lord father in the sense. He received the same ill treatment given by Galahad.
In the sense? In what sense?
In the sense.
That's so general. But it makes sense. As long as you didn't put resembled there instead of resealed.
Lord Henry made it so that his time there was met with harsh and cruel means. Although there were many... What?
Okay, no, okay. Okay, well, it just sounded like he was fond of it because it's familiar to home. But I guess he wasn't fond of it. Okay,
Although,
yeah, I see.
yeah, I mean, it does seem a bit odd that he would just like link it in that manner.
That makes sense. It felt all too familiar to home means he doesn't like it just as much as he didn't like his home.
Also thinking about it, why the fuck is there a paragraph shift here?
Because the grammar even like I don't know if it's even applicable here anymore. I haven't been paying attention to it, but
Look, we're
if you
sticking
have,
to it.
we don't have double spaced at least.
I mean, there's still some. I just don't think we've found it yet. Although there were many tasks to be done and enough men to fill the roles, most of the work tended to fall on AleGord's shoulders. Now, I don't think that is remotely smart for a leader in any way, even if it is hazing a new person or hazing someone that you don't want there.
Yeah, he's got to learn to be good at relegating, just like Henry.
Well, because Alistair Thorne in Castle Black, he was a grade A douchebag to John, right? But he didn't force him to do everything there.
Generally, the higher you are, the less you do in terms of like everyday tasks.
But he's giving his Knights Commander to do everything?
It's supposed to be free to do the important tasks, so everybody else does everything. But maybe everything in this context means all of the important tasks, but then we still have no idea what those are.
You're still, like, mentally and physically exhausting the person that's supposed to command your men if shit comes up. That's not the best idea.
Yeah, it's Henry. Come on, man, sleep standing guy. You can't.
I mean, yeah.
Him. He never gets a good night's rest.
There were many times where he wondered if he was really meant for this place. It all seems so strange to him and painful to him. Perhaps he should have ran off to Raelin, which I think is supposed to be Rialin, but it's Raelin now.
Right.
At least harsh desert's seas could not bark back. I'm going to add this.
I don't know if he's explained Raylan at all in the story so far.
That's because it's supposed to be Rialin, and it was mentioned once or twice.
Once or twice. It hasn't explained what it is, though.
No.
Except now we know it's desert seas.
Well, only parts of it is a desert that we know of from the author notes.
Okay. Imagine the other parts is lush forest of the tribes.
Perhaps Henry was right about him being sent to the castle in order to be forgotten and buried within the past.
Time travel.
I don't know if buried within the past is a phrase, but we will roll with it. The men hardly seem to listen, and when they do, it's only when they vine being poured down their throats.
Okay, so he is being given all the work to delegate. I said relegate earlier. I don't know. I think both words work there, but to delegate to all the other knights what to do. He's been given all the leadership tasks while Henry just lays back and does nothing, I assume. But the people don't want to listen to him unless they got vine down their throats, meaning they're choking to death. I'd certainly listen to my commander if I was choking to death.
So far, the only person he met who showed him kindness was William, and he left just as soon as he met him. Off to the Demonlands on a scouting mission. Right now, that would be even more appealing, he thought. He'd rather write demons than fall victim to Henry's unjust earth.
Hold on, what? Okay, I know. Look, I get he means fight demons. What is Earth? What is Earth supposed to be? Wrath or mirth?
He'd rather write demons than fall victim to Henry's unjust earth.
I think Earth just doesn't even apply. Like, there's no substitute. Oh, God, that even rhymes or comes close to it. No, I'll say wrath. It probably just
That's
auto-corrected.
nothing.
He's got some weird kind of autocorrect going on.
He positioned himself on a bench where he thought such thoughts, surrounded by men who were covered in the smell of liquor. So not only do they have wine, which is named Vine for some reason, but they also have liquor here.
Yeah, I guess wine is named Vine in this world, but why are they all drinking constantly?
I still don't get why he would name the term for wine in this world as Vine.
Oh, he told us. It's
Really?
Elven. It's the
Yeah, but that's stupid. That's incredibly stupid.
Elves aren't around anymore. How do they make it?
No one's interacted with the elves.
They're all dead.
They're all dead. Their home, the only place where they existed, is full of wraiths. How did they get the wine?
Wraith wine. No. They trade him spice for vine.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
We asked him about the whole vine thing, and he said it's what the elves called wine.
I mean, if you just want to change a word randomly to something one letter similar, I guess.
It's not even that. He's saying that the elvish word is just another English word.
And everybody
that is inept at best.
No, it wouldn't be a linguist's favorite thing about this story. Why is everybody getting drunk all the time? What is going on at this castle?
The smell. It's all part of their training, of course.
Just keep the bugs off or something.
The smell of liquor clamped his nose with an undesirable smell.
I just want more bug talk. More talk of bug hives bursting out of all. I really love it. That's one of my favorite parts.
The courtyard of Clifton Fortress seems to be filled with mostly men and nothing else besides a few branches and tables lying around.
Oh my god, this fucking fortress. This fortress, now the courtyard.
There's just a bunch of men standing around next to a couple of broken branches and just knocked over tables.
What?
This is amazing.
Oh my god.
Why branches?
We need to write up a list of all these descriptions of this castle and the areas. Oh man,
this castle is a dump.
It's useless.
I'm gonna post this somewhere online, like a Reddit for dungeon masters for D&D, and just see if they can even fathom a use for this place.
Well, it's an abandoned castle.
Just have them, fully inhabited. It's just like the shittiest castle in the world.
It's got to be like bandits fucking occupied a castle and are pretending to be its resident.
The sounds of drunken fools alerted them as 3 men approached them. I don't know who them is, but okay.
Oh my god, there's some weird stuff. This whole paragraph here, this is just getting weird.
4 strange men approached him. Doused in vine, he could smell it from where he was seated. One started to speak, but all AleGord heard was the sounds of mummery.
Oh my god. Mummery? What is this?
Oh, I know what that is.
What is this?
It's an old word for mimes.
Mimes are soundless.
Oh yes, but he could hear their sounds.
the rustling of their clothes.
He spoke in such gibberish he thought he was speaking a foreign language. It's all these damned royal families like the Galots who hold the rest of us by the tusk and force us to fight in their petty squabbles.
They are now orcs.
Now, couple things. One, they're mimes. They shouldn't be able to talk. Two, and I'm speaking exactly here. He spoke in such gibberish he thought he was speaking a foreign language.
Oh.
The mime then proceeded to say, in perfect clarity, it's all these damn royal families like the Galots who hold the rest of us by the tusk and force us to fight in their petty squabbles.
Most likely a gibberish English accent. All these damn royal families like the Gallants hold the rest of us by the tusk force us to fight their petty squabbles.
Yeah, but if you were trying to portray like drunken slurring in text, wouldn't you actually try to like type it out and make it seem disoriented and like dyslexic-esque?
Oh yeah, and you wouldn't think he's speaking a foreign language. Well, I mean,
No.
it's just I
wouldn't think so. Maybe like a severe dialect, or just use like slurring or something like that, making it difficult to understand.
It's a bit too extreme of a description there.
The dialogue then switches over to almost like a script style where it has the name and then a colon there.
Yes, I don't think it's a consistent style.
It's the AleGord style.
Very good.
AleGord. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just enjoying my ale. So AleGord is also drinking.
Well, they're not going to get much done that day.
You're a Galot, son of Galahad, and a kin of the house Galot. AleGord. Yeah, I am, so what? I think I'll leave. No, you're a Galot. AleGord. Look, you're clearly drunk. Why don't we all clear our heads and sobbed up, yeah?
Not if you just keep drinking.
They're just crying.
Like, they're all drinking and crying.
I don't think you understand. The Galots are the reason why these forts are up. The Galots send us to deal with monsters while they soft and cozy up in their manners in the Pride Fields.
Oh my god.
What are the Pride Fields?
I don't know. We were discussing this for like an hour one day.
Oh, that's got to be the nobles' fighting fields where they just have their little fancy little battles.
AleGord. The Galots fight as well. What, mere bandits and some rogue animals? I hardly call that fighting, right, boys?
Why would you send soldiers after animals?
Must be some real bad animals.
Oh, there's a bad animal coming up. Don't worry.
William embarked on a trip that would take him past the castes of his country and all the way to the castle of the demon.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're back to William.
Now, what are the castes of his country? And what is the castle of the demon?
Well,
we never figured that out.
Because if he's talking about the castles of his country, then he left the demon, okay, in the demon lands, went past the castles of his country, so he went back beyond the wall, past the castles of his country, and then back across the wall again to the castle of the demon. Okay. Because, like, how would he go past the castles of his country if he was just in the demon land? I'm assuming he means take him far away from the castles of his country, all the way to the castle of the demon because he went the wrong way.
Okay, but what's the castle of the demon?
Oh, we're about to find out. Maybe? Maybe
I
not.
don't think we never do.
The castle of the demon is never mentioned in the last chapter. They just kind of travel slightly past the wall and they find the bodies.
Well, yeah. I assume they're about to reveal it in this chapter what it is, but if that's not the case, then...
Yeah, but it was the focus of William. If that was his goal, he would have at least had an internal monologue saying, like, yeah, that's my objective. I need to go and scout this out and see what's going on over there.
I thought he was just like randomly running away from the gluttony demon. Maybe
yes, that's what he was doing.
So now he's embarking on another trip, or
no, he's still gone.
Oh wait, okay, so this is AleGord still thinking.
Yeah, this is yes.
Okay, now I get it. But also, they never even mentioned it. Why is it not?
No, they didn't.
Taken past the... Okay, well, at least it makes sense why he'd say castles of his country now. Okay, so William left, went past the castles of the country to the demon lands.
But it's past the castes.
Yeah. The caste system of his country. He ascended the kingship. The castle of the demon.
I had to get some beer.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to get measured up.
Maybe they were running out. He had to go borrow. Castle of the Demon. It could be the whole desert is the Castle of the Demon, but I'm gonna put...
Why would there be like 8 names for this fucking place?
If nobody knows what's there. Nobody knows what's there. They gotta scout it because it's so mysterious. There may actually be that castle one of these days. Like the actual castle that Greed is in. Or he's hiding from the sun in the desert.
He was there as part of a reconnaissance expedition.
Why is AleGord like not even like... This isn't a personal monologue. There's nothing saying AleGord thought this or said this.
No.
It's just like narrator talk and then saying, like, connecting it to a AleGord chapter.
Yeah.
So strange.
AleGord.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
AleGord was wary of the Lord of the Castle because the Lord of the Castle did not like him. As a result, AleGord was not overly free with the Lord, and he was also not overly eager to see the Lord, since he is aware that Henry does not like him.
Is he just bitching about Henry last chapter? Now this chapter? Lord, he doesn't like Henry.
These 2 fucking sentences. Scratch that. These 2 paragraphs just repeat the same fucking thing over and over again.
It seems like chapters are doing the same thing here. He does not like Henry.
Let me get you up to speed real quick. AleGord was wary of the Lord of the Castle because the Lord of the Castle did not like him. As a result, AleGord was not overly free with the Lord, and he was also not overly eager to see the Lord, since he is aware that Henry does not like him. Because he was a bastard of their blood as the Lords of Castle, there was very little he could do to change Henry's image of him. In fact, there was almost nothing that he could do. He believes...
Stop drinking constantly.
He believes that his father is currently located somewhere in the world.
Most likely.
Possibly fighting in some wars, living in the woods, or even socializing with kings and queens.
Why would he be living in the woods?
Who knows?
The great Sir Galahad. He goes camping off.
Regardless of where his father is, AleGord can't help but feel sad. It was very clear that Henry despises AleGord. Henry, for his part, has made it very clear that he dislikes AleGord, and AleGord, for his part, is taking measures to ensure that he does not get on Henry's nerves. Henry held a deep-seated animosity towards AleGord due to the fact that AleGord was the son of a man whose identity was either unknown or lost in Nayland.
Oh my
We
God.
know his father.
We know who he is.
It's not a mystery. Okay, hold on. I think I got a flash of context. Maybe he's talking about Henry's father. Maybe Henry doesn't like him because Henry doesn't know his own father. But that doesn't add up because he said it's because he's a bastard too. So oh no, yeah, it says Galagard was the son of a man who's mysterious. No, I was wrong completely. Oh my god.
So, real quick, you see all
Galahad.
this green?
Yes,
You see all this green?
very much so.
You can basically sum it up to AleGord was getting annoyed and was very cautious due to the fact that Henry didn't fucking like him. Like,
Yeah.
this is an example of someone desperately trying to reach a word count minimum.
Yeah, well, it's definitely padding, but he's getting real into his deep seated animosity towards him. But then he
But
doesn't know
then
who Galahad is
he doesn't
anymore.
know who Galahad is, even though Galahad sent a letter to him saying that this was his son. And
That
everyone else in this castle knows that he is the son of Galahad.
shit up there, Henry didn't like him because he was a bastard, and now it's saying Henry doesn't like him because he's a son of a man whose identity was unknown or lost. How could he be
Why
a
the
bastard?
fuck? Why would anyone care?
And yeah,
I didn't know my father.
you son of
Ooh.
a bitch, you don't know your father. Okay, he's okay, leave me alone. Don't know who my father is, just Sir Galahad. That had to have been like a mistake, something left in, or like,
Now, you know how Chapter 2 was the day after AleGord arrived?
I was like, oh, yeah, and then, but the last
Yeah,
chapter was like a week after William left, a fortnight, 2 weeks, or
that
half a
was the
fort,
start of this
1 week.
chapter.
No, that was last one. Was this?
That was this chapter.
Okay,
That
so
was the start of this chapter.
this is for a week after he left at the start of this chapter, right? Because he left that first day.
Now, later in the day, after William had left, AleGord sat down and began to think, ponder, and reflect on his time spent at the castle because he had been there for over a week at that point.
He is getting trapped within the past. He's back at the first day again.
So he,
pretty sure Henry said, "Get your orders, William, and head out." Like gave him a letter and everything of who he's supposed to grab on that first day. And then we had the whole chapter where he went and did it. And then at the beginning of this chapter, or even like midway through, it said William was gone already, didn't it? Didn't we just say William was gone on a reconnaissance mission right before?
so this chapter says that it was a week ago that William left. But William left the second day that AleGord was there because he arrived at night, he slept, woke up, and then had the whole meal,
Yeah.
and William got his orders and he left.
No, but like go up like 2 paragraphs before the green. Didn't it just say like William embarked on a trip that would take him?
Yes.
So hold on now. This is trying to say William left just now.
Well, I
That's
think
that's
I think
trying
that
to
was part
establish.
of I think it was part of the portion way up here, I think.
No, that's a straight up retcon right there. That's a retcon saying
Well, there was a part in
there.
this chapter that he said the only person that wasn't like an ass to him was William.
Yeah, and then he said, but William was gone, right? Hold on, I think I remember where it was. But then it just says right there, he left. It was like right there, a little bit above, he said, William, but maybe not.
Because this is just a reminder, like, hey, William left. And then it also fucks up.
To be like I think he forgot he said this was a week later, because this is like seriously like trying to be the same second day.
Yes.
Where William left. And then later in the day after he left, AleGord sat down. So that whole week later thing is just moot.
But, okay, so I have a theory, a running theory here. So we know Galahad is mentally deficient because he has no understanding of his brother, his brother's house, his brother's wife. He has none of that. Askeladd, his son, is just messed up in the head because he can't even remember what side of the are demons real or are they not real argument he is in, like 10 seconds after he says something.
Yeah.
So I have the theory that this entire Galat family is just fucked in the noggin.
Selective dementia.
Because later in the day, after William had left, AleGord sat down and began to think, ponder, and reflect on his time spent at the castle, because he had been there for over a week at that point. Makes me think that AleGord has no understanding of time.
God, I didn't even see that. Oh my God. Later in the day after William had left, reflect the time he'd spent because he'd been there over a week.
Which is not true.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. He thinks it's later in that day and a week later at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. That is a big discrepancy.
He was miserable, and it was clear he wasn't being himself, and that he also can't help, as he also thought about the people of the castle and the duty they were assigned to accomplish over there. Oh, for fuck's sake. He really can't understand why Lord Henry hated him so much.
It's because you don't know who your father is, stupid. It's so ridiculous. Okay.
He was unhappy. He was unhappy and obviously wasn't being himself. Not for very long after Not for very long after he had sat down, he became aware of the arrival of a group of inebriated individuals who were all behaving in a cheerful but icy manner.
And that also just happened.
Cheerful but icy.
Oh, we're having so much fun, but fuck you.
Sooner had these drunkards come, and now they are engaging in a fist battle in which they...
battle.
Oh my God. Oh, it's getting good, don't worry.
They are engaged in a fist battle in which they are matching blows to blows and punches to punches.
Now that's a fist battle. Just punching each other's fists.
Among the drunks was a coward who doesn't fight. All that he did was run commentary, throw pebbles and twigs, and render assistive touches were needed.
Oh my god.
Why is he doing that?
It's just some dude over there touching him.
Yeah, go on, get him. Get him. I'm going to give you a touch here and a touch there.
So, among the drunks was a coward who doesn't fight. All that he did was run commentary, throw pebbles and twigs, and render assistive touches were needed, since he knows his dexterity is so worse that he might die at the receive of just a blow.
Oh my god. Guys, this guy get hit once and he's done.
So the assistive touches were for him. Somebody else was assistive touching him to get him out of the way of the fists, I guess. He's just sitting there heckling everybody and throwing stuff, and somebody's just pulling him out of the way, like, oh, watch out, man. Like, yeah, fuck you guys. Yeah, throwing a pebble at a guy in a fist fight. And then the guy swings at him, somebody pulls him out of the way.
And twigs too. Don't forget about the twigs. Not branches. Twigs.
He's getting the twigs from the branches. He's snapping them off.
He's just snapping them into smaller pieces.
What is this clown? Oh my god. Look, he's not much of a coward if he's getting right up there in that fist fight, talking some smack and throwing stuff at him.
He could have also become a casualty of fatal beating and injuries.
Yeah,
what possible fucking sludge of words? He might die at the receive of just a blow, comma. He could have also become a casualty of fatal beating and injuries.
There were no fucking given. That guy could have. Well, if they didn't give him assistive touches, he would have become a casualty of fatal beatings and injury. Fatal beating and injury.
But AleGord knows he is a coward who only runs his mouth, therefore. He didn't get a punch from Gal-Every. One of the drunks received a punch from AleGord, which put...
Oh no, it put the coward completely at his disposal. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't understand. Which put the coward completely at his disposal. Okay, because he didn't punch him, so the coward's scared of him and will do what he says. Oh my gosh. He gave a punch to everybody. Everybody gets one. He gave a punch to everybody except the coward. What's he gonna do with the coward at his disposal now? Oh,
he didn't. There's no description of the fight either. AleGord just god beats all of these fucking drunks into the dirt.
No, he one punch. That's all it takes. One punch. AleGord over here just walks through the brawl of two guys, maybe three, maybe many. We have no idea, but we know there's a coward on the side. He didn't get the punch.
Henry, the Lord of the Court. Let's do this real quick here.
He has many titles.
Saw them from the courtyard of his home. Because does the tower have a separate courtyard?
Oh no, what? What the heck is it?
Saw them from the courtyard of his home.
I'd have to assume he's in that courtyard with them, but like, such a weird thing to call it that of his home. I mean, it is his home, but like, why not just say he called from the same room, like a few feet away?
I mean, you could just say like from across the courtyard.
Yeah, that's much better. Across the courtyard.
And yelled at the top of his lungs to get them to stop fighting.
Imagine you just scream like, ah!
Later on, he had a talk with AleGord, who
What
was
happened to the
acting.
coward at his disposal? What happened? I need to know this. That guy was a legend.
Who was acting rudely at the time, and later on he advised AleGord and the other guys he had battle with to travel to a nearby village to pick up provisions and to take a carriage from there. So, quick question. There's a nearby village. AleGord said that there were no villages on the way to Castle Clifton.
Well, it's got to be a village on another route, in another direction.
Well, it
This
doesn't
village is
matter. Even if it was like, even if it meant like an extra hour or like a couple hours, wouldn't you want to stop and let your horse not die and get fucking food and a bed?
no, I mean like in another direction from where he was coming. Maybe like if he came from the southeast, and this village is like northwest of the castle.
Yeah, but how many fucking
Possible.
roads lead to this castle?
Well, I don't know any of that information because nothing has been explained. Not a single thing. The stuff just pops up out of the woodwork, and we gotta run with. And when we see you, and it's good that you bring it up because we got to try to spot the inconsistencies. That's the best part. But I can see where the village could be from another direction, maybe.
I mean, again, I suppose, but I wouldn't think like the pathways to this castle would be like a fucking delta.
Well, I mean, it's
There
just like
shouldn't be like 50 roads leading to
there
this
could
one
just
castle.
there could just be like imagine one road leading to the castle, but you know, like you see, say a road is going along towards the castle, and then something branches off, and a ways away there's a village. Like maybe it's just as far away as the castle, so instead of going there, he went to the castle straight. But technically, that village is along the way, but it's still
Okay, well then let me
just as
posit.
far away. I
Well
mean,
then
maybe.
let me posit this: if this castle is close enough to the other like villages and like towns of civilization, and this one in particular is clearly getting along fine, why wouldn't someone have set up a village or even like a small like hamlet along that other road?
Yeah, that is kind of a big oversight because I'm sure travel
I
between
mean,
this castle and other places is common. So
why if
why?
there's a road that's like 3 days away from the other villages, why wouldn't there at least just be a fucking hut or like just a
Why
fucking
wouldn't the
campsite,
castle?
like a
Why wouldn't the
clearing,
castle set
anything?
up like a relay station for people traveling by horse? Like they should set up a stable so that if they need to travel to the city AleGord came from or anywhere near there, they have a means of trading horses out or getting provisions for the night.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some discrepancies there. But then again, everybody's constantly drinking and now fighting at this castle. They are not competent. They didn't set up anything, and now they got to go get
Listen,
provisions.
listen. Just because they drink all the time and they got into some fights with some mimes and a coward doesn't mean that they don't work together.
What's like maybe like muttering instead of mummery? Like what the hell is that? They do work together to drink and fight. That's all they do. That's all I've
Look,
seen. And to scout
look.
and die.
These men work together. All right. There's a unison. There's a unifying code.
Fuck with AleGord. That is the code so far. Everybody follows it. But don't fuck with him too much, or he'll give you the punch. And it's considered rude of him to give the punch.
On their trip to the village, the men attempted to kill AleGord in accordance with Henry's plan.
Oh
How-
no!
However, AleGord discovered this information on his own without anyone informing him of
He's
How?
just that good.
What? Why? How? What? And why?
it.
What is this? How would he get this information? Where would it come from? On his own? Like he snuck around while they were all going to take a pee at the same time at the same spot in the woods and just listened to him talk about wanting to kill him. Like, and why, Henry? Why did you betray your command?
This just seems like the most like spiteful author response to like anyone that's bitching about his OC. AleGord discovered this information on his own without anyone informing him of it.
he doesn't have dimension. Just
No,
people
AleGord is literally the pinnacle of Mary Sue characters. I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now.
Honestly,
he's super strong. He's super
don't see
awesome.
how it's possible in this story. there's nothing. Oh, there's no system in place for him to be a Mary Sue. There's nothing happening. But I can't wait to see the attempt. This sounds hilarious. His one punch of everybody was a good start. Oh Lord.
AleGord, who is well aware of Henry's loathing for him, has chosen the intuition gleaned from the location and feeling in order to do everything for himself.
Why does he need to make it a secret that he's killing him? Everybody's under Henry's command anyways. If he didn't want AleGord there, he could send him away. If he didn't want to send him away, he could have just killed him right out back the thing. I guess it's easy enough to try to kill him on the road to a place, but like, why try to kill him if you were giving him all the work? What is this development?
I'm going to be completely serious here. I need one of you to explain to me what the fuck this sentence means. AleGord, who is well aware of Henry's loathing for him, has chosen the intuition gleaned from the location and feeling in order to do everything for himself. Like, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Okay, I was with you until you got to himself. Okay, I can get up to that part.
I mean, do you have anything? I don't know.
Oh, hold on. Okay. So AleGord's aware of Henry's loathing. He's chosen the intuition and the feeling in order to do it. He gleaned. Okay. So he knows what's going on based on Henry's loathing. He knows they're setting him up to get murdered. So he used his intuition in order to do everything for himself to save himself from death. I'm assuming.
But
I assume
he gleaned from the okay, so up to that point I kind of get it.
Yeah, like
so
the location being
Henry
like
hates him,
where they would murder him,
the
maybe
location.
a spot, and the feeling of like the feeling is just a poor word there, but I guess like the feeling of they're wanting to kill him. He can sense that. He knows their tensions are high, so he knows what's about to happen, and based on that, he's going to be able to save himself. Most likely.
Yeah, but the wording is in order to do everything for himself. What does that mean?
Do everything life savory for himself, but even then, it's just such a strange choice. Like,
well, you say do everything you can, like, or do everything to save himself. Like, by that, do you mean like, what do you mean?
Like he's going to subvert the plan. He's going to escape the situation and not get killed by these fellows. He's going to do everything to get out of dying because he knows he's about to die, basically, based on the location and the feeling. He knows he's about to get murked, so he's going to do everything he can to save himself. I guess it should be clear in the next couple sentences. Yeah, let's see.
All right. Capital A, and he had advised the
Yes,
coward he battled
coward.
with that in the event of a conflict, he should select carefully on whose side to be before fighting him.
He didn't fight with the coward, first of all. Okay, he didn't do the punch to him, which put the coward at his disposal. That's the only reason he's at his disposal now. And now he's telling the coward, if stuff goes down, you better choose your side wisely, because you saw me punch everybody. I gave him the punch.
This was before the fight even started. AleGord had told him.
No. This is This is before the new fight started, where they're going to try to murk him.
This was before the fight even started. AleGord had told it.
That's a stupid thing to do, because now one of the guys that might possibly want to kill him knows that he knows and could rat him out.
AleGord had told him, I really don't need to remind you of how strong, dangerous, agile, and vicious I can get.
Dude.
So think well and think
AleGord.
good before you select sides.
He's a beast.
AleGord was referring to the potential for AleGord to become all of these things.
He wasn't saying he is those things right now. He's saying he will, but he could
be.
well, I guess.
The coward then joined hands and forces with AleGord. AleGord and the coward then slaughtered the remaining men, allowing only AleGord to live.
All the coward could do was heckle and throw stones and twigs. How is he even useful?
Now, I want you to listen and follow the train of words very carefully here.
Oh, wait, the coward's dead too?
I want you to listen carefully and think about the train of words that are written down. AleGord and the coward then slaughtered the remaining men, comma, allowing only AleGord to live.
A moment of silence for our coward friend.
I want you to listen carefully. Again. AleGord and the coward then slaughtered the remaining men, allowing only AleGord to live.
That's what I mean. The coward died too.
Not in the fight.
Not in the fight.
Yeah,
he shanked him after. That's right. Well, I'm assuming the coward
murdered the coward.
I'm assuming the coward's still alive.
He's never mentioned again.
Oh no! He was my favorite character. I wanted to heckle more men.
That's what happens in
the author.
The author world.
Are you sure he's not just going to randomly mention a guy's name later and it's going to be the coward?
Despite their lack of refinement and finesse, AleGord and the coward were successful in their mission. After he had vanquished his foes, he went back to the village to retrieve the supplies, gathered his loot, and boarded the carriage to make the journey back to the castle.
That's the royal he. The royal he includes the coward and AleGord.
Royal he.
It means he as in those two people.
Sure. And that is chapter 6.
No more coward, you say? There's no more coward?
There is not.
I need that side story.
What happened? How was he murdered?
It should be known that the author, he gets very defensive if you make fun of AleGord, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I specifically asked him, just in general, what does AleGord do? And he has been silent for like 3 fucking days.
What does he do?
Yes, that's all I asked. What does AleGord do?
He's just straight up evil, basically.
He had no relation to the author whatsoever, AleGord. No relation. Not a self-answer.
Are we ready for Chapter 7?
Oh, I'm ready for this one. We were talking about it today.
Hunt.
Chapter 7, Hunt. The focus of this is Korg.
Oh my.
Back to the best character.
Oh, she looked so amazing. I don't think I've ever had any lady like her in a long while, Askeladd said with a mischievous smile on his face.
Oh my god.
He was glaring at the new maid down the yard.
How far is she down there then?
Oh, so he hasn't had her yet.
No. Perhaps she'll stay if you quell your thirst, brother. After all, how many maids have gone away because of your nightly pleasures? Cord said.
Oh my god.
I guess they're allowed to just leave if they want to.
Ah, Askeladd said, acknowledging Korg. But where is the fun in that? Askeladd had always been fond of his nightly pleasures. Korg knew this well. He always enjoyed the company of women, perhaps too much, he imagined. There hasn't been a woman who entered his chambers that remained in the family service since.
So they're just allowed to leave after doing the nightlies.
I guess he's really fucking bad at it, too.
It's just strange. Like, he's a noble. He has power over them, but he just, like, does it with them and then they leave. And new ones come in. Like, does he not want them anymore? Is he the one getting rid of them? Strange.
The two were seated under a tree before their great family manor. It was a hot afternoon, so hot that even Askeladd refused to ride his horse.
What?
How does the heat... Well, no, if you're riding your horse, wind moving, it'd cool you down. Like, what actual actions are you doing on the horse? Aside from, I guess, standing and balancing.
Technically, it is activity, I guess.
It's an activity, but, like, the moving air would cool you down far better than just sitting in the stagnant, hot-ass air.
I think
there's still going to be some work to it, don't get me wrong.
I mean, if you're lazy,
I'm not saying that horse riding is nothing. What I'm saying is it would cool you off far more than just sitting.
I imagine maybe it's not about the heat, but just about doing anything because it's hot, maybe.
It was a hot afternoon, so hot that even Askeladd refused to ride his horse.
How hot is like 130 degrees?
Well, I guess he just doesn't want to do anything. That's all I'm thinking. He's toasted. Straight toasted.
The tree kind of provided them with some shade from the sun.
If they're under it, I would imagine it would provide shade.
It kind of provided them with some shade.
As they do.
It's not Yggdrasil, though. Which is apparently in the story.
What?
Yggdrasil is the world tree. It's the big tree in his other story.
Oh, yeah. Fucking
the tree's so tall it would block out the sun from the entire country, probably.
While the water surrounding the tree danced with such joy that Korg found it relaxing. So, if it's hot as hell, wouldn't you want water? Like, why? Actually, no. If it's that hot, why the fuck don't you go inside?
Yeah, just go inside.
I don't care if it's medieval times. There's no AC. That's full shade. That is full shade.
Well, You know, I can't tell based on the limited information, but I think they like it out there. I think they're complaining, but they like it out there.
Don't you ever get tired of humping these boring girls? Korg asked.
Oh.
You'll never know such pleasures until you experience them, brother, Askeladd said with a joyful
Oh,
expression.
these brothers' conversations.
After all,
Korg is he's the actual author insert.
Cord, not Escalade. Oh god.
After all, clashes and fights aren't the only way to find entertainment in these days. There's plenty in the bed. I don't think you'll ever be a married man. Marriage? Who cares about such trivial things? Even when I marry, there'll still be plenty of women to keep me company during my wedded days, Askeladd said.
Oh my god, he's the most cartoonishly evil character ever.
He just wants it. He's Quagmire, just medieval Quagmire.
Pretty much.
Korg never liked that about his younger brother. He didn't understand the world as he knew it. You dare think of such thoughts? When the Pope eventually wed you, you plan to deceive him and the watchful eye of God?
Oh yeah, I forgot there was religion. It's a big part
Wait,
where it
hold on.
rarely comes up.
Sorry, rewind. The Pope would wed him, but a bishop weds the king in the future.
Does
You don't have too much context to this, but later on there's a chapter where the king is getting married and a bishop is sort of orchestrating it.
the Pope was
So
out of
why the
commission.
fuck would the Pope handle one for a normal noble?
The Pope was out of commission that day for the king. Yeah, laryngitis.
The
Maybe
Pope?
maybe he thought a bishop was higher than the Pope.
But don't get me wrong, a bishop is a high rank, but it's not like the Pope.
Yeah, there's only one of those.
Oh,
The Pope? I have you know the Pope doesn't consider God when he humps his priestesses.
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 I would like.
Priestesses.
I'm just going to point out there are no priestesses in a Christian religion at all.
That is not how you spell it either.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's not how you spell it.
Oh god, the beer's kicking in. Fuck.
Usually like nuns, but not.
Yes, it's supposed to be nuns.
The author.
Author.
Can you stop that?
Shit. Author. Oh. Oh. Should be a super cut of just me censoring his name.
Beep, beep, beep.
Korg only responded with a simple, what? How do you suppose the Pope have children? But he's under oath. Yet the son of the Pope always becomes the next Pope in line.
Oh,
That
god.
isn't how Pope works either, but I suppose it can.
Korg didn't know what else to respond with.
Oh,
so
the Pope has kids? He has sex? What?
So explain this to me. The world is supposed to perceive that the Pope is under an oath of abstinence
What?
to not have sex or children. But the rule is the son of the Pope always becomes the next one.
Well, that is quite a contradiction. Unless he's supposed to be the Pope's virgin-born son.
Yeah, the author seems to not understand Catholicism at all. Like, at all. Because in the Orthodox Church, you can definitely, like, the high-ranking officials and whatnot do have families. Oh, he's
Yeah, it's a little strange that Korg doesn't know this already. If it's
It's kind of strange that the world wouldn't recognize this already.
yeah.
like, even if like it's a common thing to know and it's just a contradiction. It's like still, why is he telling Korg this? If it's the religion is like the most important thing, like Korg ought to know about the Pope and how it works. This is how old is he?
I think he's like 26. No, 24. Somewhere
And
around there.
he even brought up the Pope, didn't
Yes.
he? How does he not know how it works? Oh, it's such a weird thing for Askeladd to bring up. But all right.
Askeladd broke the brief moment of silence. Father would soon start talking about your marriage. I don't think you'll have much to do to stop it, Korg said. Wait.
What?
Wait. Askeladd broke the brief moment of silence. There's dialogue, and then there is Korg said.
They both said it at the same time.
Why should I get married when you're yet to even hump a woman in your life?
Wait a second. Hold on. No, this is Askeladd saying this, so it was Korg saying the last one.
But why would Askeladd be the one to break the moment of silence?
So it is actually like I thought that was Askeladd saying it. It was just a slip, but no, it was Korg saying it. That is a mess up.
Father just wants to be rid of me by marrying B off. Admit it,
What?
mother.
Admit it, mother. He's not talking to his mother. He's talking to Korg.
Oh my God.
We're clearly experiencing some Freudian slips.
Now, this is just the Galahad family, a regular afternoon. The dementia's setting in hard here because it's too hot.
Like I said, it's totally different when someone's reading it because you pick up on the stuff that you miss.
Yeah, it takes it. It's a lot more closely speculated. But so Korg had a dementia moment where he thought he was Askeladd and broke the silence, but then remembered he was Korg by the end of the sentence. And now Askeladd thinks Korg is his mother. This is just all over the place. This Galahad family, I swear.
4 men were now approaching the castle, so their manor is a castle.
Always 4 men, 3 men, and then become 4 men like the first time.
Korg looked towards them. Askeladd noticed that his gaze was focused somewhere, so he followed Korg's gaze and noticed he was looking at 4 men approaching.
I assume 4 is just the number of intimidation.
From the dressing of these men, they were commoners.
Oh, here we go.
No, wait. Don't you dare talk about the sleep. I just saw the next line. I saw the next line. God, is it? Okay, this is later after he's back. Okay.
These dirty commoners are coming to disturb my father's sleep. I don't like how they always show up here as if the father...
The Holy
Is he
Father.
asleep in the
as
afternoon?
if the father... So, one, Galahad fucking left.
I guess he's back. What happened with him and the king? They don't explain. Nothing happened. We saw the king came back and had an afternoon nap.
We're on page 58. Let me just double check real quick, just in case we're having like a mental snap here.
Oh no, he didn't come back yet. There's no mention of it. Let's just skip this time. These are time skips where we just have to keep up. We just have to go with the changes as they are revealed.
They split ways, Galahad and the other 4 men to the city, while Korg, Winbert, and Askeladd home. Yeah, so Galahad isn't fucking there.
He is now.
He literally is back, apparently.
But I hope we'll find out what happened with the king. Cross his fingers.
Which king? There's 3 of them.
Oh, yeah. Has that even been mentioned yet, or are we still?
So far only one's mentioned.
Okay, so we still have no idea that there's 4 kings or 3 kings or however many.
Okay, so we're starting from... These dirty commoners are coming to disturb my father's sleep. I don't like it how they always show up here as if the father has the solution to all of their problems, Askeladd.
He would if he is the father of everyone. He's everyone's father now.
Once you're a lord, it is your responsibility to protect and help your subjects when they need your help, Korg said.
Askeladd is such a whiny little... yeah.
That doesn't include giving them all the grain in your barns so that you would starve to death, Askeladd said.
What? Oh, boy.
Bit extreme there, buddy.
Why would they be given the pet? Oh, God.
So, hold on. The farmers are their subjects. They would have the grain. They would give it to them. Why would there be a reversal there where the nobles have all the grain and the farmers have none of the grain?
I believe it's simply a metaphor, comparing how them coming to wake his father up in the afternoon is the same as him giving them all of the grain in their barn so that they starve to death. That's how big a deal Askeladd thinks getting woken up from an afternoon nap is.
Yeah, that's still just an extreme, like...
Don't you know how important afternoon naps are? Have you never had one?
I mean, I don't know where I'd put them on the story time scale, but they'd be up there.
Yeah, you gotta have a full afternoon nap. That's like legally required.
The men were now close enough. They were heading to the castle, but on sighting Askeladd and Korg, they walked in their direction. Good day, Korg and Askeladd. They took turns in greeting. Good day, comrades, Korg responded. But Askeladd wasn't looking happy.
Uh-oh.
He stood up in anger. On your knees, he ordered.
On your knees! Oh my God.
The 4 men knelt immediately in fear. They all knew the fake Joffrey. He could be very dangerous whenever he was angry.
The fake what?
I was making a joke. He's just a straight up fake Joffrey.
I was thinking that same thing a minute ago.
Oof.
Korg looked at Askeladd for a moment and then took his gaze away without saying anything. He didn't look pleased with what Askeladd was doing, but he didn't stop him.
We'll see where this goes. Like, come on, Korg.
It should be Lord Korg and Lord Askeladd, Askeladd yelled at them. Now, I want to do a couple things. Before we bring even logic into this, before we even do that, I just want to say... Where is it? Here. Once you're a lord, it is your responsibility to protect and help your subjects when they need your help. Meanwhile, he's yelling at them to call them lords.
No, that was Korg, because that said the protect them.
Yes, Korg said that, but the point is he's stating that they're not, neither of them are a lord. And that, like, once you become a lord, it is your responsibility to do that.
Yep, and now they're both lords. I guess
to bring in the logic and reason, they aren't a fucking lord because they're not the head of their noble family. Galahad
They
is.
are now.
That's like saying Robb Stark isn't a lord when Ned is still alive. That's because Ned is the fucking head of the family and he is in charge of their shit.
Oh, they're the lords
They might
now.
be members of the noble family and they would still be dealt respect and, their place in society, but they wouldn't be lords.
I guess maybe now. Maybe that's changed. Maybe in this story, every noble is lord, even the son.
You can't because Korg stated once you're lord.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That is. But now, from now on, I guess maybe. I guess we'll
What
see.
in the matter of them walking
Yeah,
up to them,
in that sentence, now it's all
they just
changed.
gotta level up.
We just got a whole reality shift. This is like Mandela effect in progress. It is. I wonder if it's going to be consistent. That's the thing. Going forward, are they going to be lords or not lords? Are they going to talk about becoming lords one day again? Or we'll see.
The men were sorry. They corrected themselves immediately. The
Now,
next time,
you don't say the men are sorry. You show it. You have them say it. Like that is not something they would be privy to until after they corrected themselves.
no, you would just be like, they apologized and they quickly corrected what they said. Like something like that. You don't just say, I'm sorry.
You're giving an omniscient view to Korg here. He knows their emotions before they even express them.
The next time you fail to add Lord to my name, I swear, I'll cut off your tongues and feed them to the vultures, Askeladd said in anger. Yeah, it's a nice little fake Joffrey here. We're sorry, Lord Askeladd, one of them said in a shaky voice. Askeladd then sat down. He seemed somewhat relieved after they had added Lord to his name.
I'm sure you would be. You're usurping your father. It's just, yeah, don't worry about him. We're the lords now.
Oh my god.
So, why are you here? Korg asked the four men after he saw that Askeladd was done with what he wanted to say to them. He already knew Askeladd to always act in an aggravated manner whenever commoners came around them. He was always easy in finding faults among people who were not of noble birth. He found pleasure in treating them in a degrading manner. I think you should all stand on your feet now, Korg said to the men before they could respond to his question. They all stood on their feet. We're here to see Lord Galahad, one of the farmers responded.
Not Lord Korg or Lord Askeladd. They're right there.
You can't see him now. You should all leave now and return next time, Askeladd said almost immediately.
When is next time? What is that for a response? When is next
time? The next time comes around.
They just walk away and walk back. What is the next time?
The men remained quiet. They didn't want to leave because their reason for coming was fundamental to them.
Oh, they're dead.
But they also didn't want to argue with Askeladd because they knew how cruel he could be. One wrong word could get one tied up and flogged on his bare back. They believed they were like nothing before Askeladd, and the level of hatred he had for them was next to none. So
Holy moly.
And the level of hatred he had for them was next to none.
Okay, my brain just registered it. Okay. I was like, wait, does that mean he's saying it's really bad or like not bad at all?
So he has no hatred towards them.
I guess it means there's a phrase very similar to that. That's the right one. I can't think of it. Next to
Next to none.
Like, the hatred you have for them was next. That is not. It's so close to a right one, but I can't think of it. Like, it's trying to jump out of my brain, like what it's supposed to be, but it's not.
The thing is, I think that is a phrase. It's just not what the fuck he was going for.
Like, it could work there if he added, like, one word.
I think he meant next to none.
Like, next to none. But the thing is, he's using it in a sense that his hatred is, like, full on. But the way next to none is used, it's like he has no hatred for them.
Yeah, he's trying to say it's incomparable, but he's saying instead that he doesn't have it. But it's like so close to right. There's a way to put that. It's like the hatred he had for them was next to none. God, it's just so weird.
I mean, I think he's trying to go for second to none, but again,
that's what it is. That's
yeah, but here's the thing: is second to none would mean, you know, like.
Wait a second.
Or wait.
No, see that doesn't.
No, that second. Hold on, second to none would be correct. His hatred would be second to none.
Yeah,
next to none makes it sound like he has no hatred for them whatsoever.
You hit it on the head. It was second to none. That's what I was thinking of, but couldn't think of. Second to none.
So he was someone that they were very afraid of. Cora could see from their faces that they didn't want to leave because the reason that had brought them to the castle was very important to them. But they were so scared of disobeying Askeladd.
Next to that. Could you please have something happen with that?
So they were more or less torn apart. Okay. Lord Galahad.
And now we progress. Like, Jesus, that whole paragraph was just, they stood there not doing anything because they were afraid of him. If they did something, something bad would happen, but they wouldn't because they know he doesn't like them. But if they did, they knew that something bad would happen, so they didn't. And it's like, okay, could you please continue?
Yeah, that entire thing can just be summarized in like a sentence or two. Lord Galahad is having a nap right now. I don't think it is right to go wake him up, Korg explained to them.
Because it's like death to nobles.
Lord Korg, please, you with to help us. We can't return home without getting a solution to the problem that has brought us here. That is an awful wording of that statement.
Why don't they just say what their problem is? Jeez. Like, it's that important. You just say it.
I said you should leave. Are you trying to go against my instruction? Askeladd barked at them. The men were now shaking in fear. Korg then touched Askeladd in a way to ask him to let them be. Relax, huh? Tell me, what is this problem that seems to be a big deal for all of you? Korg asked. We are farmers in the village. Recently, we've been having a series of attacks by wild bears.
That's a multi-bear. It's multiple bears fused in
multiple bears.
By a wild bears.
It's basically like 3 bears fused into one.
We've only seen one, but we believe there could be more. They attacked our crops.
By a wild bear. We've only seen one.
But there could be more.
What? Why can't you go back? Okay, never mind. Just you've only seen one bear. Oh god, that's funny.
They attack our crops and destroy almost everything. Recently, some kids were attacked too. Our safety and the safety of our crops are at stake now. One of the farmers said to Korg that he was almost sobbing. So what do you people want Lord Galahad to do for you? Korg asked in a calm tone.
His job?
Like, they do deal with animals all the time, right?
My lord, A bear is just fucking mauling our shit. We need your father's help. What exactly do you want?
Yeah, what should he do about this?
We need some men to help us hunt down this bear or bears before their actions become detrimental.
Could just be one
Aren't
bear
they already detrimental?
that took out all of our crops, attacked multiple kids. It could just be one bear.
Boy,
Look at them. Aren't you ashamed of yourselves? A bear comes to your settlement and you can't kill it. Whenever you have a little problem, you run to my father for help. Even when you want to piss, you come to Lord Galahad. But you don't do that when you want to fuck, though. But when you're paying your taxes, you always give silly excuses. Some of you would want to go a whole year without paying tax, yet you always seek help and protection from Lord Galahad. Look at a simple task you can do for yourself. You ran to Lord Galahad, Askeladd said, and as he scolded them,
And repeated himself.
So, I'm pretty sure that that would be just wrong. Or rather, that's a lord's fucking job.
Yep, peasants are always going to, complain about taxes because they're usually unfair.
Well, not even that. If a fucking farmer needs help, he kind
it's
of would
imperative
go
that you
to.
help them.
Yeah.
But then again, the author basically said "fuck farmers," so. He's special.
Oh God, my lord. My lord, I saw the bear on my farm yesterday. It was huge. I don't think it is something mere farmers like us can take out, one of the farmers said. So because a bear attacked your farm, Lord Galahad should mobilize a region of armies to move into your farm and hunt down the bear, Askeladd asked harshly.
Send a few guys. If it doesn't work, send a few more. He's not saying send in the army.
The farmers bent their faces to the ground while they avoided Askeladd's gaze.
How do you bend your face?
They didn't move their heads, they bent their faces to the ground.
That is talent right there.
Askeladd then looked at Korg. Brother, you see what I told you just some minutes ago. These commoners are very annoying. They can't do anything for themselves. They always depend wholly on Father, Askeladd complained.
The fuck?
That's what comes with being the head, brother. Once you become the head, you see different responsibilities finding their way to you. It doesn't matter whether you want them or not, they'll always just be showing their faces around you. It'll be irresponsible to avoid them, Korg said to Askeladd.
I'm pretty sure Askeladd knows all this. He just doesn't care. Jesus, Korg.
Their problem right now is not the father's responsibility. It's their farm. Whatever gain that comes from it goes to them. So I don't think it is right to refer to the responsibility of going after a wild bear as father's responsibility, Askeladd said.
Except
that is also wrong.
Taxes that go to their father.
And the grain. Or gain, I'm sorry.
Like he just mentioned taxes and now he's saying, but no, it's all going to you, so.
Their men are farmers. They all had their farms where they have grown different kinds of crops.
Are there no hunters? Just like living anywhere?
No, hunting's illegal.
Like, really?
They're not the only farmers in the village. I believe they were chosen by the others to represent them. These people are the most important in this district. They're the ones that grow the food that people in this district get to consume.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
All right. So these farmers grow all the food in the district.
The district.
You might want to listen to them. Because you say if you tell them to fuck off, you'll just starve. Holy moly!
Yeah. Oh, actually, Korg is rational enough to fucking say that. If they don't grow these crops, we'll die of starvation. So, again, Korg is not an idiot.
Korg is the only sensible character in the entire story.
Then it fucks up. That's not entirely true. We can still get food from some other districts.
Oh my lord. Oh boy. Yikes.
Oh, I do mention the taxes next.
What about the tax they pay? Can you get it from another district? Korg asked Askeladd. Askeladd didn't know the response to give. He remained quiet.
Oh my god, it's not like he doesn't know this stuff, he just doesn't care.
Here's the thing, is
He's fucking retarded.
Do we have proof that Askeladd knows this?
It seems like he's trying to be arrogant like he does know it, but then it's such simple, basic stuff. It's like, why did Korg not know the Pope? Why does Askeladd not know what farmers do? What did Galahad do to these boys?
Korg now stood up from where he was seated. He then smiled as he looked at Askeladd. Brother, lowercase, what do you say about going on a hunt? Korg asked.
Oh my god.
Hunting was part of their hobbies right from when they were still kids. Their father would always take them out to hunt. He felt like it was part of a way to train them on how to be fast on horseback and how to aim at an enemy with an arrow during combat.
Just the arrow. Just the arrow.
Just the arrow. You don't aim with a bow, you aim with the arrow.
You're all standing on your horses, trotting slowly, so you can kind of just whip the arrow at them.
But it had been close to 2 years since they last went hunting. This was because around 2 years ago, their father had a guest from a distant kingdom. This guest had insisted on going hunting with their father. They all went hunting, but during the hunting, while chasing after a game, the guest was isolated. By the time they returned to him, they found him dead with some of his body parts mutilated.
What the hell?
I guess he didn't have any guards with him or anything.
He was attacked by a wild cat, probably a tiger.
A tiger? It's a house cat.
You got mutilated.
Oh, wow.
They searched the entire area for the animal that had killed this guest, but didn't find it. I should also note that you got the double spacing here. This also caused a big problem for Galahad because someone under his protection died, and he couldn't even get the creature that had killed him. After that incident, they stayed away from hunting, and luckily enough, nobody from the village had shown up to report that any animal attacked them until this particular day that the 4 farmers came to the castle.
Oh man, like, when would it ever be a problem? Why is it a problem now? Where
So
are
did they
the
seriously
other hunters in the kingdom?
So hunting, especially when you know big animals are around, is going to have some level of risk.
Yeah. But
So
it should,
because someone
honestly, it
got
should.
hurt,
Honestly, they should have guards around all of them while they're hunting, like any other noble party.
so because one dude died, they no longer hunt ever.
Yeah, they gave it up for good. Like, and oh no.
Does that mean
And
the entire
it didn't even
district, there's
cause an
no
incident.
meat? There's just none. There's nothing.
But it's
You
just
get like...
it's just them that gave it up. Like, why are there no other hunters? And it almost caused an incident, but it didn't. You can still hunt by yourselves without a guest, so nothing else happens and nobody gets suspicious thinking you're killing your guests. Like, just go hunting with your boys. Oh. But then it says that nobody needed an animal killed for those 2 years. What? Why would anyone ever? What is this? And why are there no other hunters?
I told you hunting's illegal.
It's apparently, but needs done on a regular basis, but not for the past 2 years. They had a 2-year reprieve from all the dangerous animals that come into the villages.
That's right.
Is this the chapter with economics, or is that the next one?
That'll be the next one, which will probably be saved for next time.
Okay, because that one is special.
Going after a wild bear didn't seem like a big threat to Korg, and it was an opportunity for them to go hunting after more than a long year of not going hunting.
Ooh.
So
they want to go hunting, but they can't because there was almost an incident 2 years ago, but also 1 year ago.
Yes.
Like, come on now. There was almost an incident, so you can't go hunting anymore. Where is the logic? Where is the reason?
Askeladd looked at Korg. What do you think Father would say when he gets up and realizes that 2 of his sons had gone hunting? Askeladd asked.
What?
It's just a bear. It is something that we can handle. It's not like we're dumb. We can protect ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Lord Galahad would still need to be the one to permit you to go for this hunt, Askeladd said.
Wait. Oh.
Lord Galahad is sleeping, and we must protect these people and their investment, Korg defended.
You can't wake him up.
Or no?
What time is it, by the way?
Okay, so right now, I'm going to put nap time at a solid 8 on the story time scale.
It's up there, like, Jesus.
I mean...
They cannot wake this man up.
Korg asked Askeladd, fine, I'm coming with you, but will it just be the 2 of us? Askeladd asked. We have these farmers too. You just said that they're weak and can't protect themselves. I think it is a start of them protecting themselves if they'll have to join us.
Do they not have sons, these farmers? And their sons get...
Askeladd looked dissatisfied. What? Do you want us to depend on these men who can't even hunt down a fly?
Does your father not have hundreds of men? What is this? Are there no more hunters?
The hunting has been outlawed.
Where are the hunters? Find a hunter. Find an illegal hunter, the bandits, somebody.
It's been a year and some months since we've last hunted anywhere in this region.
Okay, that keeps changing. That is the third time.
Don't you think we might end up meeting a bigger threat? Askeladd asked.
The dementia is just fluctuating things.
The tism is strong. Fucking...
Whoa. Yikes.
Those areas were places these farmers always visit. I don't think there is much threat to encounter there. There's a bear. There's a fucking bear. And they're there all the time. There is a threat that could be encountered there. If a bear can show up, I would presume other shit could show up there too.
Yeah, they said multiple bears most likely, based on the damage done.
I don't think there is much threat to encounter there, but for your minds to be at peace, Skolad would be coming with us,
He's
Korg
back.
explained.
Where's Wimbledon?
Wait. Oh, yeah, never mind. I think Winbert went with
Oh, Wimmer.
Galahad.
No. Unless he's taking a nap with Galahad now. But all right, they got they had one brain cell rejuvenate, and remembered they had people they could take with them.
I think that is a fair bargain, Askeladd said with a smile. Korg then instructed the farmers to wait for them while they prepared for the hunt. They went into the castle and brought their weapons. Korg then asked Knight Skolad to join them in the hunt. They all left the castle on their respective horseback, while the farmers walked ahead of them.
It's just the saddle.
No,
They just ripped the back off the horses. They rode on that.
They're doing the Monty Python thing. Oh,
what the fuck is respective horseback?
Oh, goodness, author.
On their respective horseback, so each on their horses.
On their horseback.
Standing on the horseback, which is slower than the farmers walking. So when it says it slowed them down.
But running is faster than horseback.
No, that's what I mean. When it says next, it says it kind of slowed them down. It means because they're on horseback, not because the peasants are walking. Because they're all standing on their horses, trotting slowly behind the peasants.
They all left the castle on their respective horseback while the farmers walked ahead of them. This kind of slowed them down, but they had a conversation on their way while they headed for the hunt. At Mirkwell, there has been quite the panic as a bear, has been seen roaming around the third fields of the village.
All right.
The third field, which lay further west from the second and first field, was vastly larger in size and has been tender to by the Sefts and the farmers alike since
damn Sefts are always at that farming. You can't stop those Sefts. They're basically farming machines.
The Sefts.
Oh, goodness.
Fucking hell.
They tenderize the crops.
They tender the crops. They're just fucking Tyson farms and just beating the shit out of the crops.
Holy moly.
The third field was vastly larger in size and has been tendered to by the Sefts and farmers alike since the establishment of the village. However, since the appearance of the bear, many of the workers cannot tend to the fields, and as such, the villager... There's
only one man inconvenience.
And as such, the villager has been suffering as a result.
That one guy is having a hard time because nobody's working.
The bear itself was not a common one. It was not a black, but brown. However, it was much too larger to be considered a brown bear. It was a monster bear, unlike any other bear before, with an enormous size. The villagers started nicknaming it Velik, the bear.
Why? Why not name it Monster?
Why did they nickname the one bear, believing it to be the monster bear, even though they thought it was a bear or a group of bears?
Yeah, like if there's one giant fucking bear bigger than any bear you've ever seen, that's probably the problem. It's probably not a whole
No.
pack of bears.
It was a normal bear or a group of normal bears.
Now it's Big Bear. I think these villagers might be on something. I think they've been hanging around with too many Seths lately.
Velik had been rampaging the area for quite some time, far too long for the villagers' liking.
Yeah, that's just a giant bear coming around again. We'll go to the Lord one of these days.
It has been rampaging the area for quite some time, far too long for the villagers' liking. Does that mean that there's a limit of rampaging that the villagers would find acceptable?
It's been months, and they've just been enduring.
Like the first week was okay. You know what? We like this. This is good. But by week 3, they were getting a little tired of it.
Oh, goodness.
Many of the villagers came up to a decision about the bear to slay it. They gather as many volunteers as possible to hunt it down. However,
they found some hunters.
They didn't want to get the Lord involved because they were doing some illegal shit.
You're kind of hunting it. Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah,
However,
they failed.
What?
So it looks like they failed to hunt it down. So this is one of them demon bears.
However, each hunt they set out on, they return empty-handed and wounded, with some men failing victim to the beast. Thus, they came up with the only option left, to summon the Lord that oversees their small village.
The small village that farms for the entire district.
I mean, yes.
What if the sizes are not consistent?
No. House Galat oversee majority of northern Maladin, where the lands are cover from head to toe in forests. Now,
we're getting some locations established a little bit.
Are we? Because you might not remember it, but 2 weeks ago, Askeladd complained that a majority of their land is mountainous, not forests or fertile fields.
The mountains have deep roots too. Don't forget that. Well, and I see it says the king coming up, so yet again, still only one king.
It was one of the noble houses acknowledged by the king and granted a large sum of land to oversee. As such, it was the house the men of Mirkwood had to rely on. To request the aid of the Lord was quite a difficult task, as a Lord was responsive.
Why has it gone from a long little diatribe of villagers just trying to cower and ask for some help, and now explaining the entire situation again, but from the villagers' perspective? What is that?
To request the aid of the Lord was quite a difficult task, as a Lord was as a Lord was responsive for numerous towns and villagers alike. They didn't expect their Lord to act, nor had any hope of his presence. However, they did get a response. A man born of the great house itself appeared. He wasn't Galahad, but his eldest son, Korg.
Just turned into a narration of things. I went from the past to the present and now the future.
Korg was a brute. A man so monstrous he could hardly be called one. He had armor fit for a warrior, plates covering both his chest and shoulders alike in shiny golden plates. Now, a couple things. One, if you are so monstrous you can be hardly called a human, that's pretty fucking scary and not human.
Yeah, that guy's a friggin' monster.
Second, he had armor fit for a warrior, and the plates cover his chest and shoulders.
Is it armor for anything but a warrior?
Okay, my thing is, that's all the plates cover.
What about his legs and his arms? What about his other sensitive bits?
We don't need to worry about legs or the groin or your head or your arms or your hands or your feet.
That's armor fit for a warrior right there. I tell you what.
Also, shiny golden plates. These are not gilded plates. These are not painted gold. These are solid gold plates.
Yes, they're solid gold plates. So,
They're soft.
Yeah, and before you ask, the author confirmed that they are gold, that they're not gilded.
Korg is not so bright. Maybe he's got regular good armor everywhere else.
He rode on a strange horse, one just as abnormal as he, called Sora.
Wow.
He was accompanied by two others, his younger brother Askeladd and Skolad. Askeladd was much smaller than Korg, tall and slim. Okay, wait. You don't use the descriptor tall right after saying he's much smaller.
That just shows you how big Korg is.
He was much smaller than Korg, tall and slim, bearing curly black hair in comparison to Korg's golden brown hair. He stood by the rear with his horse in hand and Skolad right beside him.
That is an abnormal horse. Fits in his head.
He's standing by the rear with his horse in his hand and Skolad right beside him.
Also, we're finally getting descriptors of these two after their second chapter now.
A third chapter with their presence in it.
I will not remember anything that is spread out.
Skolad was much older than both of them combined, a senior knight in his craft. Korg enters the village, followed by Skolad and Askeladd last. Korg ride in vibrantly, while Askeladd and Skolad came in solemnly.
Just
what a strange descriptor there.
The villagers made great haste to greet them. Daunting, they thought of the knights. Why are you giving the villagers thoughts when the focal point is Korg, when our fucking perspective is supposed to be from Korg? Why?
He is partially omniscient sometimes. It's part of his dementia. He just taps into everything for moments.
He's a warg. He's the fucking raven.
He's an empath. He just tunes right in sometimes. Just tunes right into his feelings and thoughts.
The representative of Mirkwood soon approached them nervously. Korg, he said anxiously, we are glad to see of your arrival. However, I am afraid to say there are only 3 on you. He took a moment to pause.
Korg is carrying 3 men. And the village chief is disappointed. He wanted to see him carrying more.
Well, we were expecting more, my lord. Your eyes mistaken you, chief, Korg replied. I see. I am most grateful to hear. What is his eyes mistaken of? What is he grateful about?
He thinks there's more men, because Korg is about to tell him he is enough for 10 men.
Korg starts to smirk. Indeed, there are not 3 but 1. You see these 2 behind me, he says, as he points to them. There are not hunters but observers. They come only to watch be slain and nothing more.
Yes, watch Korg be slain, I'm sure.
They come only to watch be slain and nothing more. Is he going to kill them both?
Oh,
My lord, this cannot be. Valak is a dangerous beast, one too much for a single man to handle. We have already lost 3 to the monster already, with 8 injury. Surely this must be some sort of joke.
8 injury on all 3?
8 injury.
That must have devastated those 3 to get 8 injury.
Do you dare insult... Sorry. Do you dare to insult your lord? You a mere commoner, Askeladd said, enraged. Are you ungrateful that you insult the very men that come to your aid? I should. Korg signals him to stop by a wave of his hand. My deepest apologies, sir. Please forgive me for my rudeness, my lord, the chief said. Enough of your babbling. I shall hunt your beast down. This time tomorrow I shall bring you its head as a mark of my huntsman's skill, Korg said.
the chief.
He rode off into the woods full of tall grass and lanky trees. Bluish flowers in the hundreds are trampled down by his hooves. Korg has hooves.
uh,
I see why he's not quite a man, but a monster.
Askeladd and Skolad soon follows. Why did you stop me? Asked Askeladd. You were talking too much, brother, Korg smirks. Yes, Askeladd said quickly, but only on your behalf. We cannot be looked down upon by some common men. We are sons of House Galat. A lord do not need others to speak on behalf of them, Askeladd. Do be careful to remember this, Korg said as Askeladd gave him a smug look.
They might be lords again.
They're not. They continue riding north as Korg tugs the horse left and right, maneuvering around the tricky corner of the rounded forest. Rounded things do not have corners. Tugging the horse left and right would snap its neck.
I'm just frozen looking at that next.
They, Skolad said, pointing at Valak.
They. They. What is he saying? He lost his mind. He saw the bear and lost his mind. They. He's not even. There's no exclamation mark. He's just they.
They.
What the fuck?
It was a beast like none other, hump and rounded with a dish face and razor-sharp claws.
A dish face, huh?
A dish face.
Like a plate?
The animal was massive, with a scar like none other that stretched across its entire face.
Also, regular bears are pretty dangerous.
How many times in this story are we going to see either none other or no other? Because it seems like every single little fucking thing in this story is super unique, super intense, hardcore anime badass.
There was one early on I remembered, but I forgot. That was just perfect. I forgot it.
Like, everything has godlike appearances, descriptions, or powers.
It's passionate. It's inspired.
It was clear this beast was king of the woods, as no other animal has managed to prove otherwise.
Oh.
It stood tall in the middle of the forest, carefree as a bird. I think birds do care sometimes.
Yes.
Just gonna throw that out there.
They do tweet real hard if there's people coming.
Soon approached by a man, it stared him dead in the eye with a look of hatred. However, Korg stared back, his eyes filled with the brink of excitement.
Oh.
He took one look at the huge bear and immediately thought of how marvelous its strength must be due to its overwhelming size.
He's insane.
Ah, what a glorious beast. How I loathe to kill it so quickly. He frowned. He takes out a spear, the length longer than himself. The pole head was long and curved, and sharp enough to pierce through anything.
All right, I see why he was not scared. He has a lightsaber spear.
He immediately grips up the spear and rode straight into the bear as he thrusts it into the bear. So he is riding his horse into the danger zone of this fucking bear.
Yeah. This is a weird hunt.
Literally everyone in this story wants to kill their horse. He barely scratched the beast with his first strike. He prepares to trike again, charging into the bear once one.
He didn't trike the first time. Yeah, that bear isn't just anything, though. It couldn't cut through the bear.
Also, what was he trying to write out at the end of this? He prepares to trike again, charging into the bear once one. You cannot say again because that is one serious fucking misspelling.
No, it was. It was again. The second time in the sentence, too.
This time causing it to bleed, enraging the Velik, enough for it to retaliate.
Now it is a species.
Knocking him off his horse, the bear, now angry and furious, quickly slams itself onto Korg. However, he is quick to dodge and quickly moves to the side.
Oh, that's quick.
Yeah, it's so fucking quick that the story redacted itself.
That is quick.
Korg stands back up, tall and stern. He grabs his spear back from the ground and rushes to Velik with the spear in hand. Velik charges back, but Korg manages to lunge the spear into its head, effectively killing it. The beast now lies beneath Korg as he stands victorious again against the bear.
Okay, now, I was assuming this bear was going to be a demon plot point. If this is just a regular big bear that we spent this entire chapter, villagers coming to talk to the Lord about it, them telling the story of the villagers, and then Korg going out, now hunting, and he kills the bear. What is this? Again, what is this? Oh my god,
Well, this is a bear.
This is a hunting story of the bear. I guess I get why the chapter is called Hunt. I get it now.
Well done, brother. Another animal miraculously slaughter, Askeladd said.
It's like miraculous and merciless.
Miraculously wouldn't work.
No, it's like miraculous and merciless put together.
He stares at the sight, spelled S-I-T-E, of Korg standing above the bear, making sure not to shift his focus away from the beast.
Korg is now a location.
You sure that thing is dead? Of course, Korg said as he removed his spear from the dead animal. He smirks at Gavin as he holds his spear in hand.
Gavin! Gavin! Where'd you come from?
So, Gavin is here. I don't have anything to follow up on that. He just kind of showed up.
Gavin has arrived.
Gavin is just a random character. He just shows up.
I was kind of hoping it was a mistake of Askeladd, but nope. If it's Gavin, it's Gavin.
It's Gavin. You hunt bears, you hunt boars. How utterly foolish, Askeladd said in a stern voice.
Well, I guess, but it looks like it wasn't that hard.
I have yet to see you hunt men.
What the hell? That's even more foolish.
Men, Korg said jokingly. Men are cowards, unlike these beasts who fight with the will to survive.
Oh.
Now, traditionally, I'm pretty sure most people like living and would evoke a will to survive in a fight.
Yeah. Also, they're more dangerous than animals most of the time.
Korg moves towards Askeladd. His tall, massive figure overshadows that of Askeladd, who is much smaller in comparison. So what brings you here with me today, little brother? Here I thought you were afraid of the woods, he said smiling.
What? You know why he's there. You guys had this whole situation. He was there the whole time.
Yeah?
He was there. Where's Gavin? I want to see Gavin's take on all this.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Give me a second here. Okay, that is the only time Gavin is written in this book.
Okay. Well, Gavin is the nickname for Skolad. All right. Skolad, you're now Gavin Skolad.
Yeah, so Korg gets a touch of the dementia suddenly, forgetting why Askeladd is there.
I don't know, that was a straight dementia moment where he thought Skolad's name is now Gavin and forgot Askeladd was there. Or why he was there.
Afraid? How dare you, brother? I have you know, I won the Olympic Games twice now. I am considered the best when it comes to horse riding, Askeladd said, smiling.
What does that have to do with being afraid? You're riding a horse. What does that have to do with being afraid of hunting or of the woods?
So it has nothing to do with being afraid of the woods. The fact that the Olympic Games exist is confusing because, one, this dude won the Olympic Games twice, and he's like 22.
No.
And fucking, if you want to have like a kingdom-wide event, you name it something else. If you name it the Olympics, that pretty much confirms there's a fucking Greece now.
Mount Olympus.
And third, that has fuck all to do with horse riding.
Yeah, you don't ride horses in the woods generally.
I mean, you can, but it has fuck all to do with being afraid of the woods.
I doubt the Olympic Games are held in the woods.
Yes, you spoke of your victories countless times. However, there is a difference. However, there is a difference between knowing how to ride your horse and how to fight. Not knowing how to fight will surely get you killed in battle, Askeladd grunted at Korg.
The most... Yes, of course there's a difference.
Whoa. This was Askeladd responding.
Again, Korg thinks he's Askeladd. This is the second time. First he thought he was him when he started talking, and now he thinks he's him at the end of a sentence.
So, who won? Who won the Olympic Games?
You can't trust Korg when it's a Korg chapter. You can't trust him. He doesn't know who he is, who anybody else is.
Oh, God. Korg attaches his spear back on his horse while taking out a dagger from its pack. He starts to cut the dead beast head off. Strange, a bear shouldn't be this far south. I wonder what drove it here, spelled H-E-A-R.
Okay.
He said in a low voice.
Here's where it kind of connects maybe to the story. Finally.
Askeladd thought the scene was disgusting. Korg attaching the bear head on his horse. Whatever the reason, it does not matter now, as it's dead. Of course the reason would matter.
Yeah, otherwise you might be back out there again.
Yeah, just because, like, if it's clearly not from this area, then there is some reason it showed up. You would kind of want to look into it. It could be a coincidence, but that's fairly fucking unlikely, given it's a fucking hyper bear.
Apparently not too hyper. Korg killed in like 2 minutes, no, like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
He didn't have much trouble.
We should hurry. After all, the lady has finished lady labor. She is due any day now, Scotland said.
What was that? What was that?
So I'll repeat.
What was that?
Out of nowhere. We should hurry. After all, the lady has finished lady labor. She is due any day now, Scotland said.
Okay. I think that's Skolad. I think it's supposed to be Skolad. He's back from Gavin, but he's got a little bit of an extra flourish. He's now Scotland. But what lady has finished lady labor? What is this new development? Their mother is pregnant again, and they need to be back there for it?
The lady has finished lady labor. She is due any day now.
Oh yeah, it's called lady labor. That's what it is. It's not pregnancy here. It's lady labor.
If it's done, then she isn't due.
Yeah, she should be already have been finished with
Why the fuck is
Scotland.
this sudden just whipping out this random fucking information?
It is just out the blue. Out the blue, lady's pregnant now. Oh man.
Mother finished labor, Korg said, wondering.
He should have said finish. That would have been even better. Mother finished labor?
She did? How utterly pointless. We have enough men in the house and there's no need for more.
Lord.
I alone is enough.
I alone is enough.
I alone is enough. Askeladd. That's the end of the sentence.
Damn right, Askeladd. I alone is enough.
It's not Askeladd said, not Askeladd ask. It's just Askeladd.
Well, we know now who it was. Unless that was Korg again sneaking in there with his dimension.
Korg chuckles. You, that be an impossible task. After all, what good is a lord who chooses to keep away from the lands he oversees?
What's an impossible task? That he's enough? That's not a task. It's a statement.
A lord isn't meant to lay his hand to help commoners. That is what his men are for. A lord should be someone who has everything, bound by no rule.
That's a little worse, but the first part is right.
A lord shouldn't bother with lowly tasks, Askeladd said. Let's go, Scotland said assert.
Scotland has evolved.
He's a Pokemon.
It's just Scotland.
Oh.
There, arrived at the village, Korg tosses the beast head at the village head. Your monster has been dealt with. The villagers were stunned at the sight. The bear is dead. That is the end of chapter 7.
What an ending. Threw the head at his head. And they're stunned at the sight. At the location. Stunned at the sight. The bear is dead.
Yeah. That's a way to end it.
This fucking chapter right here. That was like the dullest one so far. With so much repetition and just rambling on. Like, oh my god.
I mean, holy damn.
So to summarize this whole chapter, some villagers came, said they had a bear problem. They went and killed the bear.
Yes.
Like, oh man, that was drawn out. At least we learned how important afternoon naps are. That's the theme of this chapter.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it's at least an 8.
I go for 9, but 8'll do. It's the first afternoon nap we've seen in the series, so we don't have anything to compare it against.
True. So next week, since I don't think you're going to be able to be around much longer after this.
Yeah, I'm about tapped.
The next chapter is called New Addition to the Family.
Oh, God.
And the focus is Eileen.
The lady in lady labor.
Oh, no, you have forgotten. She has finished her lady labor.
Oh, yes, I have forgotten. I wonder if Scotland will be around to help.
Isn't there some random kid that also has never been mentioned before?
Yeah, this plot point came out of nowhere. The whole next chapter came out of nowhere. Like, whoa, we're doing the bear hunt. Oh, by the way, the lady's just about done being pregnant, or she is done, but she's not due yet. Oh. And then bam, chapter ends, and now it's the lady. That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was not really a smooth transition at all.
I struggle to imagine how it's going to fit in with the story. Like, what picture is he trying to paint you of the Galahad family?
Just out of nowhere, Scotland shows up. We should hurry after all the lady has finished lady labor.
Old Gavin, Scotland. Maybe that's his full name. Gavin Skolad, Scotland.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what'd you think of these two overall?
First one was nice. It was just a good Galahad chapter.
We are learning that everyone experiences the dementia.
Yeah, the Galahad family
everyone
are very unreliable narrators because they all have dementia, and you can't tell which one's which some of the time, but you just got to go on context. Because Korg turned into Ascalad 2 times.
Yeah. Well, next time we will be following. Actually, no. Hold on. Before. Yeah, next time we will be following on Eileen. And depending on whether or not you can handle 3 hours next time, we will be having a full story on Eileen, the economy, and then after that, the king.
My. Yes, just setting
Also,
up a whole.
Ginbert. Fucking Ginbert. Ginbert.
Ooh, these characters.
Who is Ginbert?
It's Gavin Gimbert Skolad Scotland, you know. Versatile man.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, since we
that was Wimbert.
It's Ginbert. It's Ginbert.
So it's Gimbert Wimbert. That's the other one.
We still don't know who Weinberg is, though.
Who is outside of the gate? I am Winbert Ginbert. It's just some clown.
Wimbert Gimbert. Watch for me. I will be there.
So, we have...
Anthony the Third.
We have King Anthony the Third, but in the next chapter, immediately after, we have King Asthanaus.
Yeah.
Was the bad guy named Geraint? I thought it was something else. I see down there, he didn't die during Geraint's conquest. Was it Geraint?
Yes. So here is where the timeline completely fucking falls apart. So Kranis was the brother who was also a king and descendant of Korg, who is not Asthanaus first, second, or third, that died during Geraint's conquest, which started off the story. But Geraint's conquest was before Korg unified the kingdom.
Wait a second. No, I can't
Hold
follow
on.
that. No, that's not. I can't follow that.
Hold on.
I can't hold on to that now.
Give me a second.
That one's a little too out of left field for me.
Give me a second. Give me a second. Oh shit! I'm adding this to the wrong one.
Is that paint?
Oh, you can see this?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I see all the colors.
Okay, so I fucking suck at using. Okay, so Great was fucking up shit of AleGord here in the beginning. Then shit goes bad and it turns bad, and he becomes a demon and fucks off.
Yeah.
Korg shows up and unifies all their shit into Maladin.
Yeah.
So then there is Astanius 1, 2, 3, Kranis, who died during his conquest of AleGord, which then brought on Astanius the Fourth to be king.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that? I don't think that adds up there. I think there's something missing.
There is nothing missing here.
Oh, there's something missing here. I'll tell you that much. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
You say Kranis? I thought Kranis was the one talking in the new chapter.
No. That is Asthanis, which is a different spelling of Asthanus.
Why is Kranis at the end of that sentence in such a weird way?
Who knows?
Why did he not say if Kranis were to rule instead of saying if he were to rule, comma, Kranis? Like, what the heck? That's what confused the heck out of me. But okay.
Yeah. So there is this weirdness going on here.
Kranis is the fourth descendant of Korg, you said?
So he would be the fourth, and then so you have one,
but
two,
died in the conquest of AleGord.
Four. But then Four's brother is the current king.
Oh,
now this
Kranis
is about
died.
40 years.
Kranis died 40 years earlier.
And this
trying
is
to
about
conquer AleGord.
10 years.
Well, he tried to conquer AleGord after Geraint or during Geraint?
Geraint's conquest was before he became a demon.
Yeah, okay.
And Kranis died during that.
Oh, wait, okay. I think you get it. Hold on, my brain is. I got a brain blast coming. Okay, so basically, Korg and all five of his descendants there, all were already existing during Geraint's conquest.
No.
Oh yeah, oh no, I got this now. And then Kranis died during the conquest, but after the fall of the king, then Korg and the other four remaining of his descendants, besides
because Korg
took over Maladin.
Because Korg did not know about Geraint.
Hey, who said that? Maybe he meant Korg the Korg Gallat.
No, because Kranis is allegedly the true heir to Korg, which unified the kingdom and made king.
But maybe he didn't know about him because he was somewhere else. and then he came and
That
unified
would not
Maladin.
be possible because
I don't know.
because Korgon was a part of the rebellion, and all of their forces were slaughtered into non-existence.
Wait, no, Korgon.
Korgon, yeah.
Is that where Korg is from?
Unknown.
Because if not, he could just be a coincidence that his name is Korg, and Korgon was slain.
That is one fucked coincidence.
But you see, it makes sense now if we do it like this, because then all of his descendants and him were already all alive during that time, and they just came in after the king, great or emperor, got demonized and left. Then Korg and all of his descendants came in and took over the kingdom. But actually, Kranis came before that happened and died in the takeover. But Korg didn't know how he died because he didn't know about Gray. It's getting real convoluted here if you can't tell. I was trying to make it work. I was trying.
The timeline is fucked.
I was trying to figure out a way a guy could have
because in order for an Astanus to be the fourth, there had to have been a third, second, and first.
That's what all of
now, in order for that to make sense, there's no fucking way that he had four brothers named Asthanius the first, Asthanius the second, Asthanius the third.
Oh, wait, actually, yeah.
Himself. You
right,
can't do.
I don't know. You could do that. It'd just be real weird. We're talking about King Korg. I think it'll fit. This one's the first, this one's the second, this one's the third, this one's the fourth. That's how that works, right? So, I mean, if it was only 40 years ago, I think we got this new canon at least to patch a hole that they were all alive before the whole thing happened and just came in.
No, you can't. Here's the thing: is you can't do that because if Kranis died because of Geraint, Korg sure as fuck would have brought his demigod ass over there and eliminated them all.
Well, maybe he didn't find out about it until after. But when did he figure out about Geraint? When did he not know about him? Did he eventually learn about him?
So no one knows of Geraint except for Asthanius the Fourth.
Okay, so we're going with that now. Oh my god. How does that even make sense?
Kranis died because of him.
How does that make sense? Korg was around way before Asthanius was king. How did he not know? He came in right after. He didn't hear anybody talk about him? Oh, man.
No. Well, no one even knows about the Empire. Like, that was all wiped out. They descended into fucking tribes.
There needs to be a lot more time between that fall and the new stuff happening. There needs to be like 1,000 years if you want everybody to forget.
It's
at least like 600 years. Come on, man. Maybe 300. I could do 300. I could see that. At 200 or less, you're pushing it. Somebody's going to remember.
Yeah. So, I suppose this is a little taste, is there is one king, two kings, and then there is a third somewhere. I cannot remember specifically where.
Wait, hold on. It was Anthony the third.
So you got King Anthony Alonso the third, and then you have Asthanius Aslan the fourth.
Ooh.
And then there's one other one that's named somewhere in here. And they are all ruling Maladin at the same time.
Are they brothers, maybe?
No. They are of completely different families.
I don't know about that now.
Yeah.
I don't think that adds up.
And so, let's load this back up here. At some point around here, there is a civil war / World War with the Unison Alliance
Yeah.
under Anthony Alonso the third.
Guys, this is getting real complicated.
And it was going against Asthanius the Fourth and 3 other kingdoms.
Guys, that's too many kingdoms. I don't know.
Where Maladin splintered into 5, and then other kingdoms around the world hopped in. And it ended, but now there are 3 kings ruling Maladin at once. And the kingdom is on the verge of fracture again.
Somehow I don't think these guys know what to do after a war ends. Geraint didn't know back in the Empire. Nobody seems to know what to do after the people lose, or there's a treaty. Maybe, I don't know. That's just weird. Though there's always like multiple people in charge. But he left the 4 kingdoms with their kings and the rebels back in the Empire. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. I think I am tapped now. That was a nice history lesson.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see it there on the screen.
It's pretty intense.
Well, next time we're going to learn about AleGord's new brother.
And the economy.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hope that was not too convoluted.
All right. Next Saturday it is.
Alrighty. That should be good then, because I'm not having to watch over anything extra.
Good.
I will see you fellas then.
Sounds good.
All right. See ya.